Hello, I am Daniel Zoyer, and I'm going to be talking about minimum wage and minimum wage increase and how it can affect the economy. And, just kind of, because that's a big topic right now. People are talking, do you want to increase it? Well, do you want to decrease it? Stuff like that, it's a big thing. Well, let's start with what is minimum wage? Well, minimum wage is the lowest hourly wage that you can earn, hence the name minimum, kind of goes hand in hand. The federal minimum wage currently is $7.25 an hour. But states and territories can actually change it. There are 29 states and territories that are higher than the federal minimum wage. The District of Columbia is the highest at $12.50. And while it's a territory, it is still the highest. The highest state, I believe, is Washington at $11.50. So, with everything, there's going to be positives, but there's also going to be negatives. I'm going to start with the positives. Uh, it could be one of the positives is an increase of income for the lower wage workers. The workers that they're at that minimum wage level or slightly above it. They're gonna get an increase in their wage. So that's gonna help give them money in their pockets, and it's also going to increase the supply of labor. With that higher wage, more people are going to be motivated to get out of the house and go work. It could potentially drop our unemployment rate by a lot and drop the amount of people that are living on unemployment. And while it's helping the unemployment rate and employees in general, it can also help the government. It's going to increase the tax income that the government gets from the labor force, especially the lower income labor force. It won't be a lot depending on how much the increase is. The higher the increase, the more income they're going to get, and it could push some families up to the next tax bracket, and it will. We're just going to kind of see how that goes. But with every positive, there's a negative. It's just like going outside, spending time outside. You could get a very nice tan, but at some point you're going to get burned. And so there, with some of the negatives, it could be businesses might demand less labor force. Now, if it's like 50 cents, it's probably not going to change much. But if we do the 15 that people really want and are demanding, then that's a big change. That's going to hurt. It might not hurt some of the bigger businesses, like Walmart, who's already increasing theirs, or just the bigger chain companies. But like the smaller ones, the mom and pop shops, if they're forced to increase it to 15, they're not going to be able to afford all the employees that they have now, more than likely. Um, but it's also going to increase the cost of goods might actually increase. Your dollar meal or your dollar sandwich at McDonald's might cost $1.50, $2. If they see that more people are able to spend more, they're more than likely businesses are going to try to find a way to get more income so that they can afford to pay their labor and keep their capital gain up or keep their net income up, all that. You want to keep your income up so that your expenses aren't hurting you as bad. And if you can keep that at a good balance, it's just going to increase as well. But it's also going to hurt the labor force because they're going to be paying more taxes. Now, again, like if it's the 50 cents, it's not going to pay that. You're not going to pay that much more in taxes. But, if it's the instant jump to 15, you're going to see a big difference right away. Well, not necessarily a big, but it's going to be a difference. You're not getting that full increase in what you're earning because you still got to pay to the government, and the government's going to be taking some of it. So my personal opinions is we should start with a gradual change. Do the 50 cents a dollar, or it's a different amount, whatever. We sit down and we think about what would be a nice small change that we could go through, and we could decide, okay, this could help or this could help. And we do it very gradual. We do like every year or so we go up like 50 cents or $1. That way, the smaller businesses have time to adjust, and the bigger businesses will as well have time to adjust and can balance out their if the cost of goods is going to increase or if it's going to stay the same, or and see how that affects unemployment. And if it's unemployment is like decreasing, then that could help. If it's increasing, well, then let's take a look at this. We should do that. We could also do do it in test markets. There are, like, Seattle is currently, they've got a higher minimum wage than, they've got a pretty high minimum wage. I forget what it is exactly, but they're doing that to see how it affects the economy. There's places in California, UC Berkeley is doing studies on different areas to see how the different minimum wage is affecting the different economies. Now, while these are obviously bigger markets because it's Seattle and California, we also need to think about the smaller markets. I'm from a small town, so I can see how, like, this, I have this different view of, oh, well, if you increase it this much, it's gonna hurt the local businesses if you increase it by a lot. So you need to take time to look at that and choose some small test markets and try increasing those as well as increasing the big ones, and try to find a middle ground onto what is potentially the best for not only the labor force, the businesses, what's going to bring in slightly more tax. It's all, if we increase it all, it's going to bring in slightly more taxes. Maybe not enough to really matter, but if it's anything, it could go towards breaking our deficit. More than likely not going to happen, but potentially it could. We just got to take time to look and see how this is all going to work. And I think we just need to do a gradual change and try it on different places before we decide, okay, we're going straight to this. Thank you. My name's Daniel Zoyer, and I hope you enjoyed this.